So hello and good afternoon from my side. My name is Melanie Bergmann. In fact, that's right. I'm head of HR. I'm looking after the people working in the engineering function and in the technology functions, so everything around design, development, R&D and R&T. I'm looking also after the people, the IT engineers in information management, and the people who work on digital transformation. That's probably the root cause why I'm here. That's in total, the people I'm speaking about, it's 15,000 people. So I'm responsible for Airbus Commercial globally. That's me. I would like to start to introduce a little bit as well my company. So probably you know Airbus Aircraft. So we are a company producing, engineering and producing commercial aircraft, but as well we have two more divisions. We have defense and space and helicopters business. We are a global leader in aeronautics and space and all the related services. We are present in all the continents in 170 places. We have four founding countries, which is Germany, France, Spain and the UK. We employ 126,000 employees. Yes, we have an order book which is full. We have a 398 billion order book, which represents just for Airbus Commercial ordered aircraft book, which is 7,400 aircraft to be built in the next years. We have an annual revenue of 52 billion euros. What you see at the bottom line is our purpose. We pioneer sustainable aerospace for a safe and united world. So what does it mean? I give you a few more hints what's behind those keywords. So pioneer, it's obviously we are leading and innovating and setting standards for our industry. Sustainability is a bit the core. It says we are leading the decarbonization of our industry. We're boosting the resilience of our global future. Safe means safeguarding sovereignty of our nations more than ever now, you know, the context, and the digital space. We're ensuring the product and the people's safety. And last but not least, we unite the people globally, across the globe, physically and digitally. Looking back at some more details, figures, in 2019, 4.5 billion people were passengers in the aviation. So 48,000 routes served and 3,780 airports connected. So meaning we transported the equivalent of almost 2/3 of the human population. The air traffic is growing year on year by 4.3%. Okay, just to give you a bit of an impression about the growth of the industry. Leading the way in the decarbonization of aviation. That's what I said, it's in the purpose, it's the center of our activities. We are investing in key technologies to preserve the future of our industry. We are exploring a game-changing technology, a concept aircraft which we call Zero E. Zero E stands for zero emissions. This aircraft aims to put hydrogen at the heart of the future aircraft. So why? Because it's safe, it's versatile, it's lightweight, it can be stored, compressed as gas or liquid. So that's something we invest on and want to go for and put an entry into service of this new aircraft in 2035. This is only one of our initiatives we have in Airbus when it comes to sustainability. We have, of course, many more new technologies, new design options, and also one you have probably already heard about is SAF, Sustainable Aviation Fuel, which is also something which is also helping on the decarbonization way. As well, there's many services around air traffic management and operations which also can help on the reducing of decarbonization. And then the fleet renewal is a key aspect in order to help that the airlines use the newest version of an aircraft because this is the most efficient one with the less CO2 emissions. Since, just to give you some comparison, we already have the most eco-efficient aircraft family when we look at the aircraft series from the A220 till the A350 extra wide body. It provides already a 25% reduction in CO2 emissions versus the previous generations. When we compare to the dawn of the jet age, we can say and mention already that CO2 was reduced by 80% and the noise was reduced by 75%. So there's a lot of opportunities in new technologies. There's aviation goals for the whole industry, which says from 2020, so we are on the journey already, a CO2 reduction has to happen, and we have to reach net zero CO2 emissions by 2050. So why am I saying this? So I have to have a bit of water to give you a break to help me with the answer. So it's easy. We speak about digitalization and transformation. There is no decarbonization without digitalization. It's that important. We have to do this journey in order to make the technology breakthrough, to help our planet to be safe, to be green, to be sustainable. The society expects new products which are sustainable. We have to deliver those products fast, agile and efficient. And we have to build a full ecosystem around it. Look at the hydrogen activities. It needs to be a full ecosystem changing. We have to produce it, we have to store it, we have to transport it, we have to store it again at the airports, we have to bring it into the aircraft. This is a full ecosystem around it. If we would not do that in a very digitized way, we would lose the game. There's also additional services which can help, which also are linked to digitization. In simple things like reducing and taking out the paper from the cockpits, supporting the airlines on an efficient flight path to save the fuel burn, and sustainable flight operations. Another reason is that aviation industry face necessity to reach higher operational efficiency. The Airbus, the airline operations ecosystem is large and complex. It can create a lot of inefficiencies. During the crisis in the last 2 years, the COVID pandemic, we had it as kind of an accelerator for the digitization. You all know it. So it was the same here as well in the aviation industry. According to the Global Services Forecast 2019, it was said that the digitalization can save 10 billion per annum of the 42 billion of costs of inefficiency. There's a lot of digital transformation also necessary for the airlines where we can help with, which is around network disruption, fuel burn, unplanned maintenance, and inventory management. Last but not least here, a key driver is that the digital continuity is the key thing. We need to jointly develop our products. It's not only Airbus making an aircraft. We have a large ecosystem. So Harald mentioned he's a contributor with his company, like hundreds and thousands of other companies as well, plus the full ecosystem. So we have to work together. This can be more efficient and be more, let's say, easier when we have a data flow and a data continuity. We have to implement a data culture and to avoid silos, which is, I think, crystal clear for everyone along the whole value chain. We have to blur the boundaries between Airbus and its suppliers and its partners. And we have to deliver harmonized digital solutions, sharing with the suppliers and the customers along the product life cycle. So we do not only design and produce and deliver an aircraft, we also have to make sure that in the services up to the end of the life cycle of an aircraft, everything stays sustainable, everything stays digital connected. So that's what digitalization can do. So some examples of achievements already. So we have one single product lifecycle management, so PLM, for the company for every new program. We have new simulation capabilities to replace some ground and flight tests. We bring artificial intelligence to support decision-making for production operations. We have new augmented reality to support quality checks in comparison with digital mockups. And we have a data platform, maybe you have heard about it already, it's called Skywise, to help customers optimizing their fleet and operations. It's a data platform which was just launched a few years ago, and meanwhile connecting live 9,000 aircraft. Not only the Airbus aircraft of an airline, but also the one of the other aircraft manufacturer, 9,000 in total, in order that the airline can very efficiently operate the full fleet, because they can harvest and benefit from all the data, and we can help to make decisions and good plannings on maintenance and service, and et cetera, et cetera. Digital design, manufacturing, and services. So that's the heart of the presentation. I have brought a little video in order to illustrate and to give you a first flavor. Does it work? I hope.
Imagine a company where collaboration is not just a word. A company where employees, partners, and suppliers work together to co-develop the projects of today and tomorrow. Would you like to be a part of it? Well, actually, you already are. With DDMS, Airbus has launched a huge transformation program across all divisions in order to design, manufacture, and operate our products and services in a completely different manner. Have you noticed these changes? Let's have a look. Our teams have created one of the most advanced and customized cabins ever for the A320 family. Thanks to a modular design and digital toolchain, communication satellite platforms are now delivered much faster to our customers. Airbus and its European partners are currently using one common working environment to develop future defense programs. The revolution is also taking place on the shop floor with the implementation of digital procedures and connected tools on some of our helicopter assembly lines. How is this happening? Through DDMS, we aim at reducing the time between definition and entry into service of any new Airbus program, delivering more customized products at high rates, optimizing costs, enriching our services portfolio, embedding sustainability throughout the entire product lifecycle. Clearly, DDMS serves the Airbus purpose. Today, we've already achieved a lot. There are still many exciting challenges ahead of us. First, we need to redefine processes to leverage collaboration and optimize the use of data across functions. Then, we need to reinvent the architecture of our products to allow more modularity. Finally, we need to deploy virtual simulations on our programs to enable us to make better decisions. Exciting, isn't it? Let's keep on working together.
So this gave a short introduction into the topic, and we can go into some more details of those elements my nice colleague mentioned. So digital design, manufacturing and services is a digital first approach. The way we want to design, develop and produce and service and manufacture and operate an aircraft. It focuses on the digital method and tools for an end-to-end business process to ensure we can reduce the costs, have a reduced time to market timeline and meet still the customer's expectations on safety, quality and sustainability. It's, as was mentioned, for all divisions, at all sites, together with our key suppliers and partners. This transformation program was launched in 2019, and it's still ongoing, so meaning it's a long run. You need to have a strategy, you need to have a roadmap, and you have to go. It's difficult, there's a lot of change management behind. It's a long journey, but if you have the plan and you go for it, you can achieve it. So what are the key DDMS ambitions? So it's the incremental development and deployment of adoption of our solutions. So far, we have had, let's say, a separation between what engineering does in terms of thinking about the new product, and then later there's the manufacturing thinking about the industrial setup, and then later there's the customer services things about the service approach. So we have to have an incremental approach going into circles together with a full multifunctional team. Time to market has to be reduced. Just to give you an impression, time to market means is when we launch a new program, so we have a new idea of an aircraft, until the entry into service. So far, we have used more or less 6.5 until 7 years. So with DDMS, for the next program, we want to reduce this timeline to 5 years. And then there's the second step from entry into service into full maturity of the program, where we have used 4 years in the past, and with DDMS, we want to achieve that in 12 months. Cost optimization is clearly also a target. Mainly we speak here about the recurring costs. Support and services need to be extended and fully integrated, need to be very early embedded into the plannings. and sustainability needs to be led in all from the beginning until the end, a key thought in order to make what the customer and the society expects from us. The DDMS roadmaps has kind of 3 steps. And here, again, coming back to what I mentioned at the beginning, the zero-E aircraft, how do we prepare? So step number 1 is that we have to explore the DDMS concepts like model-based systems engineering, I come back to it a bit later, product lines, data automation, digital continuity. We had here seen in the video some examples, like the airspace cabin was done in that way, and the satellite development platform. Step number 2 is then the capabilities in end-to-end process integration. And step 3, once the first 2 steps are completed, is the connection of our models and data to the physical world. So that's what you mentioned, it's the digital twins, where we want to have everything visible in a digital, let's say, environment for an aircraft in order to plan and simulate, and later we connect that to the physical world. I give you some more concrete elements. So how we want to do that? That's the famous new ways of working. So what does it mean? It's pretty much all about collaboration. To reach these ambitions, we have 3 strategic dimensions. The goal is, in the end, to enable efficient collaboration among all actors along the value chain. Enabler number 1 is the co-development and digital continuity. So we have to update our process referential. So to redefine and harmonize the process to get rid of silos across the different disciplines. Currently, we have 3 major processes, as I mentioned just a bit earlier. It's called develop, fulfill, service. So with DDMS, we design 2 new processes as a major process, which says co-develop and qualify, and execute. And we will install new processes around product lines. And then we have to bring digitization into all the Airbus processes, methods, and tools, and have to integrate the existing solutions. I think somebody mentioned in one of the speeches before, there's always a bunch of many little solutions which people like to use. We also have to break the habits of coming back what they know and what they like to do. We have to integrate everything into one end-to-end solution. Enabler number 2 is the virtual engineering of product and industrial systems, support and services solutions in order to simulate and build best trade-offs. That's very important for our industry. So first of all, we have to create smart components and have a reference architecture. This will enable later the product line approach. Then it was mentioned in the little video, the deployment and development of model-based systems engineering, MBSE. It's not new, it's fairly old, and we do it already. However, what we do is rather on a part level. We do it for example, we can say we check the behavior of the aerodynamics, or we have a model to say, what is the impact of stress on the airframe. We can do that, but we don't have a model which is a simulation of a system. So we have to have a full integrated approach, and that we mean with the full deployment of MBSE. Multidisciplinary optimal organization, I mentioned already. All of this is necessary because we must know the impact of any technical change of the full value chain, because sometimes the customer demands, or for some technical reason, there is a change ongoing, but we don't know what it makes in the full aircraft. There's a little thing which can have a huge impact or not. So therefore, this full modeling is important to have those knowledge. And at a very early stage, we have to model the industrial system and the services system in order to not design something which later cannot be produced efficiently. And then the implementation of the digital twins. That's really something you see then on the big screen. You see the full aircraft, and you can make visible all the pipes, all the cables, all the systems, all the things, how it's connected, and things like this. Enabler number 3 is then the product lines, which I already mentioned. So to enable the standardization of the manufacturing operations. If you go to an A320 and you fly today from Frankfurt to London, you think one is like the other. It's not at all one like the other. Normally, each aircraft is somehow different because there's so many different variables in the aircraft. Starting from the end, the customer can make a choice for the engines, for the cabin, for the seat capacity, for the cockpit options, for the connectivity. They can make tons of selections. So therefore, each aircraft is somehow different, which brings the complexity in the industrial setup. So we can only help ourselves in order to make those modules, in order to have this kind of modular approach, and then offering still the customized approach, but then reusing it as much as possible for across the different programs and segments. And then we have to take benefit of the automotive mass production industry experience. So they have much more, let's say, this mass production in mind already, and they do it since years and since long. So we have to make use of it. Leading transformation is not only delivering digital solutions, tools, and methods, it's also to get them used by the employees. It was also mentioned in some previous speeches. So the transformation is key, and we have 3 axes on the transformation in order to support, to accompany the people in those changes and enable the adoption of the new processes, the methods, and the tools. So first of all, we have developed a learning organization, so based on the experience accumulated through all the different steps of the project and using as well knowledge management capabilities. We build a competence strategy, develop a learning solutions and a deployment plan, and focus on the key competencies for the future in this aspect, which is architecture, data analytics, artificial intelligence, cloud, IoT, virtual and augmented reality, and cybersecurity. Number 2 is secure the adoption of the new processes, methods, and tools we develop within the DDMS frame, and that we do with a dedicated communication team. We have a change network spread all over in all the different places which are supporting. And then engage, last but not least, the extended enterprise on the journey, because it's not only a journey within Airbus, it makes only a full success if we engage the extended enterprise. And finally, I'd like to conclude, and I already recover a bit the delay in the presentation. Airbus people make the difference. So it was said in the very first presentation that without the people, we will do no transformation at all. So that's something which is key for us. We have a very diverse workforce. We have more than 100 nationalities, and we believe that that's the key success factor for our innovation, for our appetite to pioneer and to have the new technologies up and running, and to help this, let's say, ambition on the sustainability making a reality. We have recruited since the beginning of the year 7,000 people globally, and we are still continue to grow. Our target is to recruit 30% early careers and graduates, 30% female population, and 30% people which are with a nationality outside of our 4 founding countries in order to really boost the diversity aspects. That's very quickly in a nutshell what we do with DDMS, and I'm happy to answer any question later in the roundtable. Many thanks.